this is a glorious new year that we have here in front of us. And stay tuned until the end, because I'm going to tell you the one thing you can do that will make this year better than you can ever imagine. Hello, Julie Carlisle here with Infinite Healing Connections. I want to tell you about how our year started out. So, our son was in a ski accident, and he fell on his back, actually on the binding of his ski, and he was in a lot of pain. And then when we saw blood in his urine, we went to the doctor, where they did a CAT scan, and they actually found that he's perforated his kidney. So that happened. And then yesterday, as we were getting up to go to church, we slept in. We never sleep in, but we did. We slept in. So it was a hectic morning. We made it. We were late. But we planned on coming home and hopping in our car and going down to Layton to pick up a trailer that my husband needed for work today, and my son was moving into a new apartment, and so we were going to use it to help him move into his new apartment. Well, it didn't start. So my husband ran down to the nearest car parts store and bought a battery, and we put it in, and it was 0-degree weather out there, and he was putting this battery in. It was so cold, and it still didn't start. So the car's out here. We think it must be a starter. I don't know. We've still got to figure it out, but we're probably going to have to tow it. Anyway, that all happened. And I was just having one of those days. Do you ever have those days where everything's overwhelming? Like, oh, the house was such a mess. I was behind the laundry. I was so sick of winter. It was cold, and I didn't want to do anything. And then I had all these things I wanted to do for my business, like including this video, and I just couldn't get to anything, and it just was making me in a foul mood. And I realized that, thank goodness. Been doing this work for a while, and I realized, and I stopped myself, and I asked myself, why are you acting this way? And I put a stop to it right then and there, and I realized this stinking thinking is not doing anyone or myself any good. It's not helping anything. It's not going to fix my car. It's not going to heal my son's kidney. And it's definitely not going to get my laundry done. So I turned it around. And the way I turned it around is to think of the good things that happened. And it wasn't that bad. My older son showed up with his truck. We hooked onto another little dump trailer that we have, and we moved everything to the new apartment. And then a guy my husband works with is driving up today and bringing that trailer up, and they're going to get those grills delivered either today or tomorrow. And then, my son that's injured, it could be so much worse. I mean, at least they sent us home. We didn't need surgery, and he didn't hit his head, because his head is still healing from a concussion that he got a couple years ago when we were in a car accident. So good. So many blessings. See? Everything works out. Everything works out for us. Everything's here for us. It's not happening to us. It's for us. So what I want you to know is that as we begin this new year of 2022, we will bring in what we want by the way we're thinking or the way we're feeling. What we put our attention on is where our energy is going to go. And that's why making resolutions is a good idea. There's something about the energy right now, too, at the beginning of a new year, that's very, very, even more powerful right now. So think of what you would love in all the areas of your life. How do you want your health to look like? What do you want your relationships to be like? What do you want for prosperity? What do you want your vocation to look like, or what you're doing in the world? I used to not believe in New Year's resolutions because I had a limiting belief. And my limiting belief was that, it's God's will and it's planned out. I just need to be a good person and obey the commandments, and it'll all play out the way it's supposed to. Nope, that is not the way it works, and I found out in a big way. God does not want us to drift through life, and I was drifting. He wants us to be thinkers. He wants us to think for our own self, and He is there to support us, because once we start thinking for ourselves, We notice desires in our heart. And those desires are there because that's who we are. That's what we're good at. Your desires are different than mine. And that's because that's what you're good at. And those desires are put there by God. And so as we lean into that, and we listen to those desires, and we act on them, He is there to support us. He is there to help us and steer us in the right direction. He's not going to do everything for us. He wants us to grow. And so we need to do it. And He will support us. And I also learned that our environment is friendly. Our universe is friendly. It is not a toxic environment. It may look that way because of our circumstances and what's going on, but we need to look past that and see the good. Look around us. Everything that is here is for our good and our benefit. And so we need to realize that and see the good. So one thing that you can do to make this year better than you could ever imagine is to come from your vision. That vision that you see of your health and your prosperity and what you're doing in the world. Come from that vision and be that person. Show up as that person and feel that vibration. And that will make this year better than you can ever have imagined. So let's start 2022 the right way. No matter what your circumstances are, I know that you are stronger than they are. And I want to wish all of you all of my love. And I want this year to be the best, most successful, most prosperous year that you have ever had. And I know that it can be.